Last time on the Dragon Ball Super Cho-Cast.
I feel like Toriyama's just used to doing that because he still wrote those movies, right? He's written every non-canon movie. Is this correct?
No.
Oh dang, who's writing those movies?
Fuck. Episode 2, Vegeta's Day Out. Welcome to the Dragon Ball Super Cho-Cast. My name is Nicholas Cartier, and I'm joined here today with...
Dan Allen, that's me.
And today we are going to discuss Episode 2 of Dragon Ball Super, titled To the Promised Resort. Vegeta goes on a family trip.
Let me stop you there, Cartier. Was it the Promised Resort?
It was not the amusement park.
Okay, continue then. It's better than an amusement park.
It is better. So this episode starts off with Goku. Alright, first of all, this episode truly starts off with King Kai driving around on his car.
It does. Enjoyable. Good to see Gregory. Good to see the bubbles.
I remember in the Saiyan arc when he's like, I just picked up this new hobby. It's driving my car. And I finally get to see him drive his car. It's great. It only took 18 years.
There's this habit that Toriyama has. Maybe it's because he's made so many characters, and it's just like he'll flash like these things that in my head are cherished to him. Characters specifically cherished by Akira Toriyama. I think in the first episode they do a good job of being like Ox King just for a second. I'm like, you got me. I love Ox King. But here they're just like Bubbles and Gregory have like a line together, maybe not even. It's just like, look at them. It's like, yeah. Just King Kai pretty much talking to himself. Even though we know Gregory can speak. It just good to see. We didn't see him in the first episode, right? We might have. We definitely saw Elder Kai and didn't talk about it last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Missed opportunities.
But yeah, King Kai is where we started.
Yes, and Goku shows up because he wants to train. But Goku shows up and he like destroys King Kai's house and then starts eating. Probably, I'd like to think a majority of his rice. I don't see King Kai's got a small house, so like I don't understand his proportions.
I think he's just like rice.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel you could probably materialize stuff,
but maybe not. It's hard for me to say.
Supreme Kai does it, so why not?
Ooh, there you go.
All right, yeah. So they do because they're gods of creation.
There you go.
Boom.
Wow. The first difference, English to Japanese, dub to sub. The first difference, I will say, is the pun that King Kai makes in the car to Gregory and Bubbles is a piece of a pie joke in English, but it's like a piece of fun joke in Japanese. That's just notable. I just want to say that before we get into the fact that Goku lands, right? And it's good to see Goku back on the planet. Like I said, nostalgia's still a big thing right now for me. It's 2 episodes in, nothing more than off. He makes a joke about him looking like he's out on a safari that is just only in the English one. And I'm like, I wonder if Japanese people didn't think that. Like, Toriyama definitely didn't think that. He's like, this is farmers. This is what farmers look like. Safari. Whoever translated that one, yes. I agree. Looks like he's out on safari. Were you just happy to see Goku so quickly back to being training on King Kai's planet? Like 2 episodes in. Just like...
I mean, I guess technically it is in this character, so yeah.
Seems a little fast.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. It is pretty fast actually for him. Because it's like, this episode is still kind of like a slice of life episode, but it's like chopped up a little bit. There's like... a 3 maybe 4 minute piece, which is the beginning of the episode, which we're talking about right now, and it ends up moving on to a different section.
Ooh.
All right, before we go to a different section, they're still dead.
Oh yeah, they're still dead.
They're still dead.
But to add to that, before we move past this King Kai planet, they're still dead, and one probably the most interesting of this episode. Japanese to English differences was he's like, can't you just, King Kai, I know I destroyed your house, but can't you just like make that happen? Can't you just create your house with your powers? And the English one is like, it's like, yeah, I just like to complain, or it gives me something to complain about. He's like, you give me something to do. And in the Japanese one, it's like, yeah, you know, it helps kill time. It's fun. I'm like, ooh, it's just something more to think about in the Japanese one. Everyone, what I noticed this episode, Nicholas Cartier, is that in the English translation, everyone is like a little more irritable. They're a little meaner, a little more bitter. Like, I don't think Bulma's a bitch, but they kind of make her a little bitchy in the fucking when she's flying. Only in the English one.
Mm-hmm. And the other one, she's like being helpful. She's like,
well, yeah,
I'll help you out. But in this one,
weird.
she's like, I'll fuck you. You know,
just how she's been characterized, I suppose. But moving on past, not to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about King Kai?
No, a beautiful, beautiful person.
Love him. Love seeing him driving. Horrible that his car got destroyed.
Mm-hmm. It's rough.
A little shifty that he had his planet back.
No, it's
because it blew up.
Infinite, but he can create things. We've been over this.
Yeah.
And he's already had to recreate it once before, at least. Right?
Dun, dun, dun,
Who was
dun,
living
dun,
in the
dun,
in the center? What do we have next, Cartier?
Space pirates.
Space pirates are next.
So
no space pirates this whole episode.
No space pirates.
Will affect the score.
So next thing we have is the first half of the episode. The first true half of the episode is Vegeta centric for the most part. We didn't see him at all episode 1, besides for possibly in the flashback.
No, I don't. Yeah, just flashback stuff. We definitely didn't really see Vegeta.
But we got to see him this time, and we got to see him standing. We got to see him standing on that ship, just, I don't know, being an oddball in a human world.
And he just doesn't want to be inside a plane or anything. I think this has actually come up before, ? Either way, I like that whole sequence. I like when she takes him to the trees, and it's very enjoyable. I know some people have a problem with the animation. I don't know if I'm there yet. Cartier, don't tell me. But it's like, I've enjoyed it so far. There's some things in this episode I'm like, ooh, it's going to be hard to pick a favorite moment. Because I have a few that we're going to come up to. But yeah, Vegeta just in the human world. I think you said this to me, but it's just interesting seeing Vegeta.
Yeah, just seeing him I love the slice of life shit.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I like seeing him in the department store, you know, just walking around. He's with Trunks. He's trying on clothes. Going back onto what you were saying about them being more irritable, when Trunks is trying on his clothes in the English version, Vegeta's kind of being a huge dick to him. He's like, ha, how are you going to be cool when you can't button up your shirt? But in the Japanese version, he's like, forget about being cool.
It's like, your shirt is misbuttoned.
Yeah.
Still Vegeta.
Yeah.
In both those, it's like, is this cool? And it's like, how would I know? But both translated correctly. Translated 100% mirror. Yeah, no. It's... Do you think that shopping is... Trunks says this, like, this is better than an amusement park, and... Is he just, like, spoiled with money? And just, like, he's like, yeah, shopping again.
Well,
like, with Mom, but now Dad's here.
Alright, think of an amusement park. What's the fun thing you like doing at amusement parks?
Mm-hmm. I understand. Roller coaster is not exciting to them. But the House of Mirrors, he's a child.
That's fair. I feel like that would get Goten more, though.
Goten would love the House of Mirrors.
Fucking go bananas.
Mm-hmm. Side note, me and Cartier loves his son. The other day we walked by a tractor. He's like, my boy would love that. He'd be going crazy for that big yellow tractor. It's like, because it's for a child, it's just like, big yellow tractor.
Wow.
But Goten would love a House of Mirrors.
Oh, he would love it. So, then, Vegeta's acting irritable, you know, because he's in the social setting. He's probably pretty anxious. He's a little pissed off because of things we'll talk about in a second. But he gets hungry. And
they go eat.
I said it episode 1. I said it episode 1. I'm going to say it again. The food in Dragon Ball Super.
Very well done.
Very, very well textured. Looks nice. Looks good. I mean,
It's
I feel like I might have eaten that octopus.
it's like the same reason that a dog is president, and that when you see a crowd of people, like, this is my headcanon, and we see a crowd of people and there's just like a panda, like a humanoid panda. I think Toriyama just likes it. He's like, I like drawing a panda person, so they're in this universe. I like drawing this dog. I think he's like, or I know he's not necessarily doing every panel of this, but
Alright, so...
But yeah, let's get that out of the way.
Alright, so pretty much Alright.
To sum it up, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just, so Akira Toriyama, what he did for Dragon Ball Super is, it's running side by side with the manga.
Yeah.
So pretty much what he's doing is he's giving them this.
Uh-huh.
And he's saying,
Good luck.
make it work.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just giving them a fucking notes.
I'm sorry. Off topic.
No, it's fine. I thought about bringing up episode 1. I thought about bringing up episode 0, but here we are.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder how heavy a
he's
hand.
Like, he's involved, like, so he pretty much has like A, B, C, and D, and then it's up to whoever is directing this episode, because that's the thing in Dragon Ball Super is like different episodes have different directors, so it's not one person like
right.
This is how it's gonna go. It's like, I want to do this episode, and it does cause some contradictions, but we won't get there. We'll get there eventually.
I wonder how much dialogue carries over to the point of, this is really the last thing we can move on. I wonder if Toriyama agrees with amusement parks not being as good as shopping for button-up shirts. Both are fun.
So they end up at this luau, and they get separated. Well, actually, no. Before that, the inking. Vegeta gets inked.
He gets inked.
And
Vegeta,
he gets pissed.
Vegeta Black is the cartoon joke.
He made it black.
Coffee black.
But yeah, no. He gets pissed off, and they just push him away, and then they end up at this luau.
Wait, no, don't blow past it. I really like when he was angry. It's classic DBZ for it to be like plates shaking and just like pots rattling and like windows shattering. The fact that it was this is exact sequence. Angry, little angrier, vocally angry, plates shaking, they crack, windows shatter. I was like, yeah, I'm glad those plates cracked, and I can't really put my finger on why I loved it, but I loved it. Just pointed out.
And I will say that there is one line in that scene that I do like a lot better in the English than the Japanese, and it's when he grabs the octopus and he pulls. He's like, "I'm gonna eat your whole race."
That's only in the English?
Yeah, and the other one, he's like,
great
"I'm
line.
gonna eat you," but in the
I'm gonna eat your whole race.
English version,
is
it's
a
just
very
like,
great Vegeta line.
"I'm going to eat your whole race." Like, how fucking sane is that?
It's very sane.
Like,
yes.
I've destroyed worlds. I'm
Insane.
gonna eat your whole race. So they end up at this luau, and Vegeta-sama, he gets separated from his family, much like a lost child, a lost angry child who does not like getting bumped into, who is also, not only is he angry, but he is also well fed, and just reminiscing about the fact that he's number 2. He's not Schmitty.
Got him.
Yeah.
Tom Kinney. Is SpongeBob. Yeah. I had a fear because I proclaimed on episode 0, or was it 1? 0, I think. I'm like, not only does the Vegeta dance number not translate from the Battle of the Gods movie, it does not make its way into the series, but Vegeta also doesn't dance the entire series. That's what I said.
And for that whole leading up to that,
I'm like, they're chanting for him to dance? Like, this doesn't make sense. Don't dance here, Vegeta. I was afraid.
You're looking at the money on the table.
What did they chant at him in English? Because in Japanese it was Mister. We watched the Japanese 1 second every time. I don't know.
I want to say I think it might have been Old Man.
Old man.
It might have been Old Man.
Was it like that guy?
Is he the old man or that guy?
I thought it was like dance. No, I don't know. Either way, Here's the thing I really know, Cartier. That scene, watching it twice in a row, not only helps seeing the difference between the English and Japanese version, but it also just helps you watch everything twice, and definite foreshadowing in this like luau, where it's not even a true luau. It's like a concert of amount of people coming to see fire spinners, and they've roasted what looks like a dragon, and I think that's what we're about to get into next, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is my favorite moment.
We join. Yeah. Well, first of all, Vegeta flies off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Vegeta.
sorry, I thought you said that.
No, yeah. Vegeta flies off, and he's just done. He's pissed off. People are chanting at him. You know, they're poking him. They're just like they're putting a spotlight on him, and Vegeta doesn't do well under pressure.
No. He's like getting casually moshed, casually bumped into.
Yeah, he's just a angry guy. You know, feels like he owes his son something by telling him that he's gonna go to an amusement park.
Punch him in the face.
Just pretty much goes through a hectic day. You know, he gets pissed off, flies away. Bulma and Trunks are just looking at him, and they're like, "Yeah, you know, like he lasted a lot longer than we thought."
Cartier loves the continuity too of them bringing up that amusement park thing. He's like, oh, yeah. I do love that scene when I just love any Trunks, any age Trunks training with Vegeta.
And it's just like I like how it shows like the difference between the animation styles, how they're reusing the footage from, you know, Dragon Ball Z Kai.
I like that. You asked me when we were watching it, Cartier, how I felt about it, and I was like, I really enjoy that. I like the transition between the two, and I just like being reminded of that exact scene, how it looked exactly. Oh, it's nice. What are your thoughts on that, though, Cartier?
I really enjoy it because like they're the same character models, but at the same time like they're noticeably different. It's just like it's just a different art like technique. The lines around the characters are more like thicker.
It's definitely a different style. I like how Super's look so far.
It looks pretty.
I don't have a problem saying it.
It looks good.
He flies off.
Yeah, he flies off. They all have a good time. We get to see one Dragon Ball hit 6 other Dragon Balls, and it's like, boom, 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 boom.
It's a lot like that.
And we see Beerus, and he's just lounging, chilling at Max, relaxing, all cool, while Luis is trying to get some dragon for that fool.
Yeah. So we see a little bit of something from Beerus. I think him talking about having a vision, and then you see the clock, and then it cuts down to the planet where these little I want to say 2 Ewok things real quick. Number 1, at the luau where there was just like all those like random white people watching fire dancers. How they had the dragon tied up and roasted was like a spit roast. Not unlike how Han Solo had been tied up by the Ewoks. Also, we cut to this planet. I say it was foreshadowing, not because of Ewoks, because dragon meat. We see all these little green villagers, is what I'll call them, Cartier, with 6 eyes, all like charging after this dragon. The first thing we see is the foot of this dragon making impact on the ground, and
they're throwing their axes at it, and it's just like bounces off his nose. He just looks around. And then probably the most brutal part.
That's my favorite moment of the episode. Is like the hammers hit him, and he's just like, blah, and the noise of him doing it like really cuts through because there's no audio really happening besides the sounds of the forest. Cuts through, and it's just like their little bodies go flying in the fire, and it's just like unquestionably death happens. And I was so happy. That was such a good moment.
I was just like, unexpected brutality.
And then the Chosen One, their main warrior, their main fighter. Every village has to have one, says Toriyama. He comes and he bamboozles him. Little.
Just goes for like the uppercut, and he spins.
Right in the kisser.
He just slams him down.
Right in the kisser.
And he's done. The big blue dragon's gone.
Mm-hmm. So
they're pulling this big blue dragon, and I don't know where... Whis, he's talking with Beeris, and he's like, it's only been 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's only been 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's right. Yeah, it's really good.
But pretty much what he's doing is he's trying to communicate with the Chosen One, and the Chosen One's not having it because like that's his fucking dragon. He got it.
I like how Whis knows different languages.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, 1 minute. Ho 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. No translations.
Still super effeminate. Like,
yeah,
it was very good. Very, very proper.
But
British.
both versions were really, really good. It's a ho 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 ho.
I wish there had been subtitles for that, but I understand the artistic choice to not even tell you what's being said there. Hopefully, it was something along the lines of like, to be blunt with you, there's a man who's going to destroy this planet. If I just want to take this meat. It's going to feed the whole village, though. He was never gonna.
Like you can try and feed the whole village, or something really, really bad is just.
I don't think he's the thinker of the village. I think he's the fighter of the village.
Somewhere in the back of all those green little like 4-eyed minions, there's just like one smart one with like 2 pairs of glasses on, and he's like, "No, wait, don't do it."
He shapeshifts, and Whis. I like that it's kind of like an inside to like the fact that Whis is like cataloging things and like doing his at least a little bit of homework before he lands on a planet out of nowhere, even though he's seemingly super powerful. It's funny how he was never like worried about fighting that guy. He was just like, oh man, well, I still have 20 seconds to like calm this guy down. And then he's like, I got 20 seconds left. He's like, do you? All that good stuff. But that guy, he shapeshifts. How'd you feel about that cartoon? How did you feel about the change in imagery there?
I'm okay with transformations. You know,
I think it looked good too. I think
it's a staple in the franchise.
It's so true.
And plus, it's like it's always good to see another character that can transform.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
You know, it reminded me a lot of like Zarbon's transformation, where it's like
Zarbon.
Just like, yeah. I was gonna explain it, and I was like, it's pretty fucking self-explanatory. But no, I enjoyed his transformation, and I enjoyed when he's just like, purple cat, I'm gonna punch it. And the whole time, Beeris is just like, it's a really good showcasing of like the kind of person that Beeris is. He doesn't. It's like alright, so the imagery in it is really, really good to me, like for me, because you know, like I like messing around with cats, and there's that certain point when you're messing with the cat when like its eyes are just like, and it's just like that cat's ready to just like fuck up your hand
after the first dragon blast out of his mouth.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dude, once he hits him, like because that whole time like he's punching him, he's blocking, like doesn't hit him at all, hits him with the dragon blast, and then it's just like he's just like, huh.
And Whis is like, impressive.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I was actually happy that like guy got an impressive out of Whis. Very weird. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
So good.
But so in that moment, Beerus like he gets in that cat mode, and he's like, I see that string that you're waving. So he goes to do the dragon blast again, and it's the same in both versions, but I do like the Japanese version a little more, because in the English version he's like, ho ho ho, is this yours? Have it back. Yeah. And in the Japanese version he's just like, have it back. I don't know. It just seems more.
It's just like, have it. It's just definitely less words. I remember it's like a subtle thing, but it's like 5 words or 2 words. Yeah. So what I really enjoyed about that, it's like in the first episode, they establish, if you don't know Beerus at all, they establish his power. He splits a planet in half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like without trying. So they give you a little bit of like, that's just a taste. If you don't know who this man is, and why people are afraid of him, they do a good job just selling the fear. I mean, with how scared that first planet is. But with this planet, it is somewhat a show of his agility. Because like he only gets hit like by surprise, not by like hands or feet. You know what I mean? And even if he knew about what kind of creatures were on this planet from Whis did not know that person could like transform, so he definitely didn't know necessarily about every little attack he had, such as the fire breath, especially when Whis was like impressive. I'm guessing he didn't fucking know.
Or even the lightning, like he didn't hit him with the lightning at all.
Surprised for sure.
But pretty much Beerus, he just like he hits him with his own blast, and he's down. You know, that I think that showcases how much power like that guy was like, here's my fire blast. Like one of those fire blasts like took that guy out, and that wasn't Beerus like being like, you know, like Destroyer Hakai is just like, excuse, you know?
Yeah.
But no, after that, Beerus does his thing, and he's just like, yeah, you know, screw the dragon. I'm just gonna blow up the planet. And he blows up the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before he blows up the planet, Whis does mention something about it being the seventh universe.
Right. No. Subtle seventh universe. Cartier, I remember being told there'd be different dimensions or something like that, and this only came up because I'm a big fan of, or at least there was a time where I was keeping up with the fan. I guess you'd call it a fan comic. That's what it is.
Multiverse.
Dragon Ball Multiverse, yeah, and it's like a bunch of different. You probably, if you're watching this, you might know about it. If you don't, it's really good. Be interesting. Interesting how it compares to, like how. Because I never even got that far in Multiverse, but it's pretty much a big tournament in Multiverse, and I don't know. I don't want to go too far into it, but I wonder how much it's going to be like that. Like if they're even gonna do, because. Sorry, Cartier. I'm like thinking about Dragon Ball Multiverse now.
No, it's fine. It's just like, so for Multiverse, there's like, it's more of like a multiverse than Dragon Ball Super, because in Dragon Ball Super, it's not like a multiverse, it's like the universe. So
Right,
it's like, there's a certain amount of universes.
So me saying the dimension thing might not even be.
Yeah.
It's not.
Because what
that's more
multiverse plays around more with like, you know, how the future Trunks timeline and like the regular timeline like coexist with each other, rather than like stuff being in like, because it's weird because like there's a certain number of universes, but all those universes are in like a contained space.
Let's not go too far into it. Fuck. Multiverse. It's great though.
But no, after that, he drops the Super Saiyan God, and he blows up the planet. When he blows up the planet, it looks really nice.
That's the honorable mention for favorite moment. I don't know if it's your favorite moment, Cartier, or what yours is. I'm about to ask you, but I will say it's up there. It was real pretty. I was thinking about how you had mentioned some were not happy with how it looked. I'm like, I bet they're not talking about this exact moment, because it looked really good when he was standing. Enough to give him the inspiration to remember the word Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, no. My favorite part of it though was definitely the inking.
The inking.
Vegeta Black.
Favorite moment. Yeah.
So after the planet explodes, it goes to Elder Kai, and he's just all like out of breath, and Kibito Kai is just like, "Oh, Grand Ancestor, like what's going on?" You know, because that's
Ancestor.
Yeah.
Grand Ancestor in Japanese, definitely. Yeah. I love me some Elder Kai.
I like it when he's being serious too.
Definitely. He's like, you fledgling. Yeah, no, he felt the disturbance in the force. It was nice. So what we didn't talk about is in the first episode, he's towards the end, after the handoff of money with Hercule and Goku, which sounds shadier when you sum it up like that. But, yeah, no, they had cut to them too. It's just nice to see them, but he's just like, pretty much his whole part is like, after 39 years, he, Beeris, God of Destruction, has awoken. Yeah. I'm loving how they're doing Beerus so far. I have no problem. I thought I might have a problem, like, retracing the little bit I knew. Like, retracing the steps, but I guess it makes sense. It just makes sense.
I love Beerus as a character. But...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, those were the storylines pretty much that happened verbatim for this episode. But for this week's bonus round, I want to talk about Vegeta a little bit. Just a little bit. So, at the end of Z, before the tournament, pretty much at the end of the Buu Saga.
Yes.
Vegeta gives this really nice speech of how, like, wow, Goku, you know what? I see what other people see in you, and I'm seeing what you're doing. I'm acknowledging you. I see who you are. You fight for others. You don't fight for self-gain. That might just be in the dub, though, because Goku's pretty fucking selfish.
Yeah.
But he gives this like nice heartwarming speech about like how he's number one, and then we're 2 episodes in the Super, and it kind of looks like his character arc has like went back a little bit because like
Mm-hmm.
arguably Vegeta has possibly one of, if not the best character arc in the Z portion of Dragon Ball.
For sure.
And
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing.
yeah, it's really
The whole thing.
Yeah.
It's straight magical. I do like the callback of saying, you know, like, I acknowledge that you were number one, but it's still the overall goal for him to be number one. And yes, it does seem like he's more aggressive than like the heartfelt like, I understand, Kakarot. Like,
yeah, but that
also
that might just be like pure ecstasy of like, huh, you did it.
Is GT this is my home too, or he's like, I'm the protector of the GT?
I want to say.
Forget that question.
I think so.
Is the mustache GT?
Yeah, the mustache.
Mustache
GT.
is not canon.
What is canon?
The canon.
The canon.
Good point.
Yeah.
But yes, it definitely feels.
Yeah, no. When he's like this is my planet. This is my world. Like, yeah, definitely. That is GT.
It feels like aggression is a good thing. It doesn't feel off character, so.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like, as time passes, after unsuccessfully fighting Boo, you know.
Yeah, because he gets the shit kicked out of him during that fight when Goku's just like, Spirit Bomb. Handle him for a second. He's just like, huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I die again, I'm gone, you know? But I don't know, because it's like, it's weird when I talk about his character development like that, because like in other ways, like, I mean, you can see that he's obviously trying to like, he's trying for his family, you know, he's given it a chance. He feels like he's obligated to, but deep down he's like, he's given it a shot. But at the same time, he's like monologuing in his head like, Goku, I need to be better than you, and just
real cold to Bulma is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Very cold to Bulma, as cold as the ice cream that Bulma bought for them. I'm just saying.
Him the very, very good shot of just like him licking the ice cream, him just like looking the other way.
Mm-hmm. Separated. No, they are great. I think that it makes sense. Like I said, I was getting at this. It makes sense for Vegeta to be focused on being number one again. It's interesting him training at 150 times gravity and Goku training at 10, which Cartier mentioned to me is the Saiyan home planet's natural gravity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I just I like the way we're going. Episode 2. You got a rating for it, Cartier?
I would give it. I'd give it a solid 8 mittens.
Ooh.
8-star mittens.
8 mittens. Okay. Wow.
Because I do enjoy Vegeta centric episodes.
Mm-hmm. I would.
And it's slice of life.
I would say that the Vegeta shopping was, for me, the weakest part, perhaps, and I loved a lot of the other stuff. The Beerus and Whis on that planet and what's happening on that planet before, it really is strong for me. I'm a fan. I gotta say that the nostalgia has worn off, but just a little. Like, it's less of a buff. We had a 1-point buff last week for me. I want to say 8.4. Better than the last one, for sure. It's building. No Boo, though. No Boo.
No Boo, no Bee.
No B.
Trying to figure out what else is there.
I'm trying to. How do we finish it?
I'm trying to figure out how to segue it.
Super Cho. With poop.
What'd you say yours was again?
8.4.
Solid 8 mittens. 8.4 mittens. that is our take on Dragon Ball Super Episode 2. We are Litmit Media, and
That's us.
if you enjoy our content, feel free to give us a like, let us know in the comments how you felt about the second episode of Dragon Ball Super. If you like our dynamic, if you like listening to the two of us just talk around, whatnot, we do have a podcast called Great Lakes Gaming. It's on the YouTube. It's also on liveitmedia.fireside.fm.
Ooh. You can always just keep watching this. The Super Dragon Ball Super Cho-Cast episode deluxe. I just want to say, I love you guys. No, I just want to say, please don't take these scores too seriously. Because I am going to buff for luck. I'm going to hashtag buff luck always. But I'm gonna buff it for Boo. It's just going to be real unbiased, like straight 10s. If Boo gets 11 minutes of screen time, 11. Dave Meltzer, break the rating scale. You know what I mean? Sorry, Cartier.
Oh, that's fine.
With that being said,
my name is Nicholas Cartier.
I'm Dan Allen.
And we hope you guys have a good life.